What is up, guys? And Davis here. Going to do my Bleach chapter review for 529. Alright, let's get on with the chapter. So basically, this is going to be a flashback chapter. What basically happens is in the beginning we see Oetu and Renji talking about what happened and stuff, saying that asking Renji, why didn't you go off and try to say nothing, try to be like, hey, Ichigo is a hard worker, why didn't you try to fight for your boy? And Renji probably was like, well, he probably said like, well, you probably it's not that he didn't want to say nothing, it's just that he felt it too, that something was off about Ichigo, that he wasn't able to like he hasn't until he figures out his true roots, he won't be able to prepare his own plateau. So we go back to the flashback, and it's going back even further from what we found about Masaki being a Quincy, and we finally get the revelation that Isshin was in fact a Shiba. He's part of the Shiba clan, which means that Ichigo, Ganju, Kukaku, and Kaien, they're all cousins to Ichigo. Well, Ichigo is cousins to all of them, so they're all related to each other. So that's crazy. Well, I figured they were because I mean the hint came from when the Fullbringers came back in Soul Society, when Kukaku brought up their uncle. At this point, their uncle, which means that they know the uncle's still alive and he's still well, but we haven't revealed who he was. And then the whole thing with it's like it's been hinted like just like earlier on, so we kind of figured out to put the pieces together like, oh, that's Isshin Shiba, and then when we didn't really know for sure until the last chapter when we find out that Masaki retain her name is still Kurosaki, and it was actually Isshin that took her last name, which is very interesting twist. I thought he was, because I always wondered why no one so Society ever thought, hey, this is Kurosaki. He's he's Isshin's boy. They never mentioned that, and now they finally figured out why that is, because he was a Shiba, not a Kurosaki when he was in Soul Society. Um, what else happens is that we finally see how he is as a captain. He's part of Squad 10, by the way. Isshin was captain of Squad 10. Makiku was his lieutenant, and Toshiro was his third seat, which is actually interesting because he actually ends up taking this position later on and become captain his own self. So he actually skipped up like some other lieutenant, like some other like some other people in Soul Society. They went from third seat to captain. It's pretty interesting. I think Kisuke did it too. I think because he was a third seat for too, and he became captain then. And I was saying it's gonna happen for Toshiro, and there was like this funny little banter where like and she was being all perverted, talking about somehow her boobs, not like Rankiku's boobs would look at all hot and sweaty and stuff and sexy. And he was basically like giving Toshiro like, hey, you're gonna be like, he's basically treating Toshiro like he would like a son, saying that he's gonna surpass me and all that stuff, and he was looking him up like he was his own child, like some Mufasa shit. Yeah, Svenya, I don't need you. It's that bullshit. What else happens is that Rangiku tells. Actually, no, I think Toshiro was. He's doing the paperwork, so that's again another reference to where like Toshiro's always doing paperwork. I guess the other captains don't really like the paperwork, which is why you don't see all of them not do it as much. They probably get the lieutenants or something to do it for them, and that's what Toshiro was doing when he was third seat, and he's still doing it now as captain because he takes his job as being part of the Soul Reapers and reporting and making files and stuff really important. So that's why he does that. Sorry, I'm having a little cold, so I'm not gonna be kind of like not gonna be talking as well in this review. Ugh. Anyway, so Toshiro reports that in Naraku City, which is the place where the Fullbringers were, there is some people disappearing and stuff like that, and Isshin goes and see what's going on. But then Rankiku decides they want to go, and Riku says, like, wants them to go with him and stuff. But Toshiro says we only get in his way, so that we just let him go on his own. Meanwhile, in Aizen's lair, Aizen and Gin and Tozen are planning something, and I thought I saw some kind of creature or something like that. Maybe like they were experiments on some halls and stuff, like they were doing with the Rancor, like doing with the devices and stuff. And surprisingly, something that really didn't make much sense. They were deferring to saying that they were trying to search for Shinji and Urahara and them. So it's like, why are they doing all this? I thought they didn't care about the vases that they after they turn into hybrids and stuff. It's confusing. And then Aizen goes off just his plan with this troll smile face of his, saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm evil." Yeah, and that's the end of the chapter. Overall, this chapter was actually pretty good. It brought up a lot of questions that need to be answered, and also I forgot to mention this. Oetsu finally gave us the understanding why Kenpachi is the only one that doesn't listen to his Zanpakuto. It's because he stole it from someone else. Yeah. His Asachi was actually somebody else's. He killed off. He killed the guy who had the Asachi, and then he took it for himself. And automatically, like when he was, going around fighting with it and cutting people up and stuff like that, it started to evolve on its own. But yet, it still, retained. It still wasn't technically. It still, was able to change and stuff and have a constant release. But he just didn't know what the name of it was because it was on his own Zanpakuto, which would make sense why Kenpachi could not learn his Shikai, or never bother to try to learn his Shikai, because he know anything about Zanpakutos. He just said he's grabbing a sword, like, oh, I got a sword now, cut. That's what he was. But yeah, we found out some confirmation that Rangiku, was attending back then like she is now, and wow, that's pretty bad. We were attending for that long, and the only one has actually like gone up another rank was your third seat. That's actually pretty funny. I wonder how long it took for Rangiku to like adjust to Toshiro being her captain. Then I don't know. And the funny thing about it is the time period is just, it don't really add up. It seems like it should have been like 20 years ago, because Aizen's captain. Gin's captain. He's older. He's a captain now too, and I'm guessing freaking Tozen's a captain too. I'm guessing. So it's like, but how is it possible that they're all captains? I mean, I know it must have happened like probably after the Pendulum Arc, because I guess because the Visor still around city, hiding and stuff, going to hide and stuff. But we don't know how long it was though. That's the thing. Because Soul Society and the time in Soul Society is different from the time in the human world, so it doesn't really fit. If anybody can give like a better description of how it's set up, and maybe make a better I guess better view of it, let me know in the comments below. But hey guys, this video be uploaded probably later on today, so check it out. And like I said about my Mega Force Power Rangers review, I have to watch the episode because I missed the episode today. I have to watch it probably like next, either online or until somebody uploads it, and I can't upload it because copyright issues and stuff. So you have make sure to get y'all like a link or something like that to check it out, like on a different site or whatever. Check it out. Alright, this is Andy Davis 65. I'm out. Peace, sayonara, all the good stuff. Catch you later.